Every day, hundreds of thousands of patrolmen report for duty, armed with a badge and the latest in video technology. You are about to witness their never-before-seen footage, their stories caught on tape. Now on disorderly conduct. This driver has no idea that he's traveling the wrong way. This officer is in the fight of his life as a boxing fan roots against him. This suspect tries to make a clean getaway by using a cleanser. This track star thinks he can outrun the law. And this biker can only be described as out of this world.
I'm a Martian. I live on the moon, okay?
Flying bullets.
I've been shot!
Crashing cars. And close calls. It's all happening now on Disorderly Conduct. It's a terrifying scenario along this Miami, Florida highway. Inside that white car is an elderly man with Alzheimer's disease. He has no idea that he's driving the wrong way against traffic going 60 miles per hour. The man swiped the keys from his nurse when she wasn't looking and simply wants to drive to the grocery store. Instead, he puts lives in danger as officers do their best to make him stop. With each passing car, the danger increases that this will end in tragedy. Then the odds catch up. The man slams into a van, then barely misses another vehicle as he careens across the highway. The officer makes a quick U-turn to check on the van's occupants. As troopers converge from both sides of the highway, they're amazed to discover no one is seriously injured. The wrong way driver survives as well, but this will be his final time behind the wheel. His driver's license is revoked, and his nurse promises to put her keys in a better hiding place. Richmond County, Georgia. Sheriff's Deputy Shannon Mitchell has a possible DUI in the backseat of his cruiser when he sees a car blow right past him and through a red light. He pursues with lights flashing. The driver pulls over and the deputy approaches with his gun drawn. Then reaches in, pulls the parking brake, and gets the suspect out of the car. So far, so good as he pats the driver down for weapons. But the man has two weapons that the deputy doesn't suspect. His fists. In fact, he's a former prize fighter. And he's looking to get a first-round knockout right here and now. The suspect is unfazed by pepper spray, and the odds for the law are not good. The deputy is 5'7", 145 pounds, against a 6'2" fighter weighing in at 250. From the backseat of the patrol car, the DUI suspect enjoys the spectacle. But the deputy is in deep trouble. Unable to evade the suspect any longer, he reaches for his gun. The first shot misses. The second hits the suspect in the side. In most cases, that would be the end of it. But this is one tough bad guy. What's worse, the deputy's gun has jammed. But he has the presence of mind to unload the bullet cartridge, which makes all the difference. Because now the suspect has control of the gun. He strikes the deputy with the pistol and chases him down the road. The deputy finds his radio and makes a call for help as his attacker stalks after him.
32, headquarters. 32, T7. Signal 32.
The suspect still won't back down, not even with a bullet in his side, and the deputy is nearly exhausted. The fight continues off camera, but seconds later, music to the deputy's ears. The sound of approaching sirens. Even with that, the suspect is still fighting. Backup arrives and takes control of the situation. His attacker is cuffed and arrested, but it's been one nightmare traffic stop for Deputy Mitchell. He was treated with 22 stitches for a head wound and other minor injuries. The suspect had reportedly stopped taking medication for a mental disorder and was arrested 2 weeks earlier for allegedly breaking another officer's nose. But somehow, both men survived this terrific battle in one piece. A lot more disorderly conduct is coming your way. A prisoner leaves his captors in the dust. And every cashier's worst nightmare on tape.
Please don't kill me!
All that and more when disorderly conduct returns. It's only a short walk from the jail to the courthouse for this suspect in Bangor, Maine. But the man on trial for robbery and assault has other plans. He's been on his best behavior for weeks now and hasn't required handcuffs. But now, in one of the most unusual escapes you'll ever see, the suspect creates a distraction with a little help from some Comet cleanser hidden in his pocket. Stunned cops join in the chase, but the suspect has a pretty good lead on his pursuers. He disappears into the neighborhood, and cops with guns drawn begin a desperate search as TV news cameras get it all on tape. A witness points to a broken window where the suspect has climbed into a house. But he's already come and gone after reportedly picking up a butcher knife in the kitchen and stealing a pickup truck off a nearby street. The manhunt fans out with cops on land and in the air. Off camera, the suspect reportedly stabs a sheriff in the arm with the stolen blade and slips away. And hours after his daring escape, this dangerous criminal is still on the loose. The search moves to the waterfront. And news cameras are there when lawmen pull the day's catch out of their boat. The suspect was found trying to escape in a canoe. But he didn't get far. Meanwhile, back in town, court is still in session. Only this time, the suspect makes the walk in shackles. There's no repeat performance for this repeat offender. He's found guilty on the prior assault charges, and he'll be back in court again on the new fleeing and assault charges he racked up today. He started out with a handful of powder, but he ended up a creek without a paddle. It's a peaceful afternoon inside this Atlanta, Georgia convenience store. The clerk casually eats chips as she lets a customer use her phone. The man also chats with his buddy on the other side of the counter. Then suddenly, without warning, the man opens fire. The bullet rips through the clerk's hair, coming within centimeters of her head. As the clerk pleads for her life, she does her best to obey the suspect's demands.
Oh, God, I can't open it. I can't open it. I'll give you what I got in here.
The men get a few dollars from the register, but they want more. Somehow, the clerk keeps her cool as the search for the cash continues.
Ain't nothing on that one that's ever been run.
Then as the pair leaves, the clerk delivers what is perhaps the biggest understatement of the year.
Thank y'all for not killing me.
She can also be thankful that because of this video, the suspects are caught and charged with armed robbery and attempted murder. In 11 seconds, 2 armed robbery suspects are going to be thankful police are on their tail. When the 2 women don't yield to oncoming traffic, they pay the price. This second look shows that the speeding suspects don't even hit the brakes when they slam into an innocent motorist. The gas tank in the getaway car immediately erupts, and now the women inside are in danger of being burned alive. Pursuing officers surround the inferno with both guns and fire extinguishers in hand. They know the suspects could still be dangerous, but they are also sworn to save lives. When a brave deputy tries to open the door, he's nearly engulfed by a sudden burst of flames. All know that the car could fully explode at any instant. But officers aren't about to give up. They move in again to yank both women to safety out of the car's windows. The fire is finally extinguished, and the uninjured women are taken into custody. They're taken to jail, but they should consider themselves very lucky. A wreck like this could have easily sent them to the hospital burn ward or the morgue. Coming up on Disorderly Conduct. A cop on the wrong end of a gun.
Kelly, I've been shot!
And a biker on the run goes down hard. More Disorderly Conduct straight ahead. It's the end of a pursuit along a deserted road near Polk City, Missouri. The deputy moves in and yells at a passenger who tries to escape.
Stop! Stop! Get back here now! Get back here, Deputy Sheriff! Get back here now!
Suddenly, it's a police officer's worst nightmare. The drama begins when Deputy Jeremy Lynn takes chase after a 20-year-old man and his 2 juvenile passengers.
The deputy told them to stop. They jumped into the car and took off.
It's 3 a.m. and the young officer is working alone. At one point, the suspect almost loses it in a turn.
They just 1050 because it's a bridge, so they are just 50.
The officer knows that if a driver is this desperate, he's capable of anything, and none of it is good.
County Work, Brazil's, still westbound.
Deputy Lynn keeps relaying his location, but he's fully aware that his backup is still many miles away.
I'm at South 95th. We're going north on South 95th.
The driver then makes a sharp right and slams into a fence.
It's 1050. Go be out of the car.
Stop! Stop!
The passengers run for it, but keep your eye on the driver. Although he's been shot several times, he somehow finds the strength to drive himself to a fire station where he's airlifted to a hospital. He sustained 2 bullet wounds to each leg, but he will fully recover. After a 6-hour manhunt, the suspect is captured and charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. He was still carrying the 9mm handgun he used in the shooting. You're watching The Quiet Before the Storm. Police track down a man calmly cruising the streets of Tampa, Florida, in a reportedly stolen vehicle.
We're still going about 45. Looks like just one occupant from what I can tell.
The chopper overhead is armed with an infrared camera. This means the driver's in the dark. He has no idea he's about to be busted. Squad cars off camera plan the best time to spring the surprise.
That's this mess up here at 29th. I'm going to go ahead and light him up at 34th if you got units up in that area. He's probably going to try to head for the tracks and run west, so just have people keep an eye out. I'll go ahead and light him up.
The cops flip on the lights and pull the suspect over.
Air 5 vehicle is stopped.
But just when things seem under control,
He's leaving.
the driver guns it.
Air 5 vehicle is now fleeing northbound on 30th Street.
A slow-speed stakeout has now turned into a dangerous high-speed pursuit.
Air 5 vehicles northbound on 30th, high rate of speed.
But the chase doesn't get very far.
Air 5 vehicles at Hillsborough. He's going to signal 4.
Signal 4 at Hillsborough.
The driver ignores the red light at a busy intersection and smacks into the left side of a passenger van at 75 miles an hour. Sparks fly as both cars spin out.
Air 5 have fire start rolling. It was pretty bad.
Moments later, the pilots cheer as the officers below get their man.
There he is. Yeah, good job. Good job.
Turns out the driver had a number of priors and took off because he didn't want to go back to jail. But now he faces additional charges of grand theft auto, fleeing and eluding, and resisting arrest.
Good job.
A police pursuit in Georgia ends in a violent spinning slide. A trooper bumps the speeding motorcycle with his cruiser when it tries to squeeze between him and the guardrail. The helmeted driver limps away from his wrecked bike and hops over the railing. The trooper rushes toward him, his weapon drawn, but the biker is injured and not going anywhere. The collision with the cruiser slams him into the guardrail. The bike falls on top of him as it skids across the pavement, then pinwheels into his legs. The high-speed crash busts his ribs and breaks one of his legs. The battered biker is charged with fleeing and eluding police. They also nail him for speeding, the reason the highway patrol tried to stop him in the first place. Lots more action coming up on Disorderly Conduct. The cop, the dog, and the man in the buff and cuffs. And a car chase lights up an LA freeway. when more disorderly conduct heads your way. A suspected drunk driver refuses to pull over for police in Kootenai County, Idaho. Deputies are responding to a citizen's report that a naked man in a pickup truck is driving recklessly along Highway 41. The pickup weaves from one side of the two-lane road to the other, drifting on and off the shoulder. The suspect drives as if he's the only one on the highway. Fortunately for the public, it's late at night and few cars cross his path. The truck rambles down the road for a couple more miles, then suddenly slows down after hitting a set of spike strips.
He's running nonstop. On his roof? Yeah, he's got flats. Okay, he doesn't have any tires, but he's still eastbound.
The pickup finally comes to a stop. Police shout at the man to surrender. A canine unit moves into position. The suspect now ignores the order, and police release the dog. The canine leaps through the window. A second later, deputies rush the truck with guns drawn. An officer yanks open the door and drags the man out onto the ground. The police dog grips him with his teeth. As soon as the suspect stops resisting, the deputy pulls the canine away. And just as the citizen reported, the man is naked from his cowboy boots up. The deputies find 1,000 rounds of ammunition, a rifle, and an open bottle of whiskey in his truck. Police charge the naked man with DUI and eluding peace officers. A car is stopped for speeding in Humboldt County, Nevada. The officer then motions to a red car.
Pull over in front of him.
That driver was practically riding the bumper of the gold car. The three men in the cars are from Idaho and say they are traveling together. Sounds innocent enough, but officers are immediately suspicious.
They got something hinky going on.
The men's body language suggests he's right.
They're very nervous. Very, very nervous. They're very nervous. It's like they've been gone down to Central California to see a friend.
The man in the gold car says the friend's name is Jeff. The other two say it's Freddie. As police grow more suspicious, one suspect in the red car grows more nauseous.
He says I got the stomach. As far as I'm concerned, like, oh my God, I'm gonna get sick of my stomach, we got caught.
The suspect removes his dog so the car can be searched. The officer smells marijuana as soon as he sticks his head in the car. He hits the mother lode when he searches the trunk. The officers draw their guns and call for backup. Inside the trunk is a duffel bag bulging with marijuana. The man with the dog is the first one cuffed.
Haven't seen the car. You can just my dog, sir. Be quiet for a minute.
The officers go back for the other two suspects. With so much marijuana involved, they are concerned the men may be armed. Their instincts are right, as they later find a loaded handgun in the red car. Police remove 70 pounds of marijuana wrapped in red cellophane and nearly $10,000 cash from the two cars.
It's a sad state of affairs when it makes a cop days getting tokens being smoked like that.
The driver is arrested for transporting a controlled substance. His traveling buddies are charged with conspiracy to transport. An unexpected end to a really bad trip. Police trail a suspected car thief on a Los Angeles freeway. The chase began near Griffith Park when park rangers spotted the man driving erratically. Officers use a moving roadblock to stop traffic behind the suspect, while motorists ahead pull out of his way. It's a slow-moving pursuit by LA standards. The suspect's speed never tops 55. That's 10 miles per hour below the speed limit. But police have no way of knowing the driver's state of mind or what he'll do next. He's in the far left lane. Suddenly, he picks up speed and veers across the freeway. The car slams into the guardrail, then ricochets back onto the road, causing a spectacular shower of sparks. The out-of-control vehicle bounces off the concrete barrier and grinds to a smoking stop. Its right front tire ripped away and the metal rim twisted sideways. Officers approach with caution, weapons drawn. The suspect moves about slowly, then opens the door and steps out. He puts his hands behind his back and kneels down. An officer aims a beanbag shotgun at him, and he's cuffed and taken into custody. The violent crash demolishes the car, but the suspect escapes with only minor injuries. He's taken to jail and charged with auto theft. More disorderly conduct hits the streets. Coming up, he's fast and he's wanted. Cops go after the track star bandit. And smack down at the corner market. Time to punch out. Stay conscious. More disorderly conduct is straight ahead. A robbery has just gone down at a Phoenix auto parts store. The manager points out the suspect to police.
What? What is it? What'd he do?
The officer floors it through the parking lot in hot pursuit of the suspect's red truck. Soon, the chase enters an alley surrounding the store.
We'll be going down an alley on the back side of the AutoZone.
It isn't long before the suspect is taking it to the street.
Back out onto 27 Avenue. It's a red Dodge pickup truck.
Moments later, the man jumps out and bails.
We're gonna go flip this shit.
The suspect sprints toward the back of a house, then vaults over a fence. Undeterred by the sound of a barking dog, the officer isn't about to give in. As other deputies arrive, it appears the suspect has entered the home.
Over the wall and into the house.
But the man eludes capture by running onto a street behind the house.
Run the other way. He made a pit. The other side.
By now, numerous officers are on the hunt. But it looks like the suspect has escaped. Then after nearly 15 minutes, he's spotted hiding behind a small tree.
I'm behind you on your right, officer. I'm behind you on your right.
Sorry, guys.
515, we're taking...
I'm sorry, guys. Please don't hurt me.
515, we do have one in custody. We're in code 4.
Now the most amazing part of the story. The suspect is identified as an all-American track star with a straight A grade point average at a local university. He was able to utilize his fast feet,
He's in the house. Run the other way. He made a mistake.
but definitely not his brains. Believe it or not, this all happened because he allegedly stole a $15 item. The woman entering this convenience store in Deerfield Beach, Florida, is here to see this man. He found her lost cell phone, but he wants a $50 reward. She agreed to meet him here and to make the exchange, but now she refuses to give him any money. The store clerk steps back as the man and woman argue. She grabs the phone and he grabs her. She holds onto the cell, but he wrestles the $50 from her hand. The woman's burly boyfriend enters and sees what's going down. He gets in the guy's face, then slaps him in the head. The man in the hat doesn't slap back. He hammers back, landing blow after blow. The boyfriend goes down fast and hard. His assailant gets in a few more licks, then bolts out the door. The woman runs after the guy who took her $50 and right past her boyfriend out cold on the floor. The clerk is on the phone to police as he peers over the counter at the outstretched man. Moments later, the woman returns empty-handed. The assailant and her $50 are long gone. The boyfriend raises his head briefly, then crumbles to the floor. His girlfriend helps him to his knees, but again he collapses. He's still dazed, but conscious when police arrive. The woman ends up with her original deal, $50 for the return of her cell phone. The only difference is her boyfriend got his bell rung in the process. The Arizona desert is normally a peaceful place, but today there's a ton of trouble racing down the interstate. Inside that yellow van is a suspected armed robber who is determined to outrun deputies. He seems to think he can escape by cutting across the median. Then he drives directly into oncoming traffic. Stunned motorists do their best to avoid this accident waiting to happen while officers plot their next move. Look closely and you'll see a deputy toss a spike strip, but the driver easily avoids it. Lives are on the line, so a deputy makes the brave decision to stay on his tail. Just down the interstate, there's finally an opportunity to take this guy out. An officer stops the van with a precision and mobilization technique, the pit maneuver. The sudden turn of events sends the suspect sliding into a freeway fence. Seconds later, over a dozen officers and a canine unit make sure this guy's driving days are over. The man is forcibly taken into custody. He's booked for felony flight and will later have to face the burglary charges. Next up on disorderly conduct. This trucker makes the mistake of trying to outrun the law. And this bike rider makes the mistake of playing drill sergeant.
Well, let's see you do 10 push-ups, Mr. Know-It-All.
You're hereby ordered to stay tuned for more disorderly conduct. It's a pursuit through the streets of Eagle Pass, Texas. Two men in that pickup race through the cool rain with officers hot on their tail. The driver speeds through stop signs and catches air in this small town near the Mexican border. Then he plows over a sign as he makes a hard left. Maybe he'll do better when he turns right. Then again, maybe not. The lead officer decides to give these guys a good ram to shake them to their senses. He bumps them again a bit later on the straightaway. But the driver still refuses to stop. Then he pushes his luck too far on this next turn and loses control. With the pair now boxed in, the lead officer delivers one last rude awakening. Both men are promptly yanked from the truck and taken into custody. Sergeant Jason Hebert joins the pursuit of a reportedly stolen truck that just rammed his cruiser in Abbeville, Louisiana. Up ahead, the driver takes aim at another patrol car and runs it off the road. Sergeant Hebert's dash cam catches the action as police units follow the truck into a parking lot. The officer runs at him, thinking he's going to bail, but the suspect steps on the gas and nearly runs him over. The sergeant opens fire, then rushes to rejoin the chase.
Sergeant, you okay? I'm all right, y'all. I shot his truck. He's on his rim.
Despite losing a tire, the suspect shows no signs of slowing down.
When you get into a car, you gotta take him out. 10-4. 32, be careful, man, you hear? 10-4.
The lead cruiser hopes to pit the truck going into a curve, but he never gets his chance.
I can't cut you out.
Police shoot at the remaining tires. The third tire is shot out a short time later, but even that doesn't convince him to pull over.
I think the truck's trying to get around him, but he keeps swerving in front.
The battered pickup limps along on one tire for nearly 30 miles, then finally dies. The suspect stumbles from the truck, then makes a run for it. He's quickly taken into custody, but not before he slugs Sergeant Hebert. The suspect faces charges including attempted murder of a police officer, possession of stolen property, and aggravated flight.
Okay? Yeah, he hit me good, man.
Officer Hebert took the suspect's best shot and still got his man.
Oh, he punched the let me hit my unit, too.
Springfield, Ohio is a peaceful and friendly place. It's even been featured in Newsweek magazine as the home of the American dream. But today, there's trouble in paradise. The man on that bicycle is suspected of being involved in some domestic violence. An officer pulls over to check him out. Let's just say that things don't go smoothly.
What happened at the house?
Nothing happened. I just used my chainsaw, and Mother got me to pay for it. I used it. So.
Where'd you use it at?
In my yard, I planted a tree, and I used it. Will you please get out of my way? I have things to do.
The officer tries to keep it simple and asks the most basic question.
What is your name, sir?
My name is, I'm a Martian. I live on the moon, okay?
That's right. The man claims to be an out-of-towner.
What am I doing wrong? I just ride my bike downtown, idiot.
Give me your name.
Where?
You're not going to give me anything.
Okay, you say something intelligent, okay?
The officer stays professional, even when the guy makes this unusual request.
Let's see you do 10 push-ups, Mr. Know-It-all.
The lawman sees no need to prove his athletic prowess
I'm not giving you 10 push-ups. What's
Get
your
the
name?
cat!
and continues to keep his cool.
Why?
Because I asked you for it.
That's no excuse. I said why?
Okay? I'll tell you what, then. I'll just place you in handcuffs for now.
Yeah,
until
you
I get
face me in handcuffs, good. You'll be the one with a smirk on your face.
Okay.
I'll spit in your face, and that'll make me good.
The verbal fireworks continue until the biker decides to book it.
Then shut up and make sense!
The two struggle on the ground for several seconds before another officer pulls up in an undercover unit. Even though it's 2 against 1, the man continues to fight. This calls for a non-lethal weapon. Moments later, we hear the familiar crackling of a taser. With the help of yet another officer, the man is finally subdued for good.
Well,
Why do you ride my bike? What the you climbing there?
His next mode of transportation will be a squad car that will take him downtown. That's where he'll be booked for resisting arrest and felony assault.
Shut up and make sense!
Cherry Sunday.